Hi, my name's Jackie Malpass of jackiemalpass.com and Million Stories Project, and I'm also the author of a number of books on journaling and writing your life stories and memoirs. And what I'd like to talk to you in this particular series is finding inspiration for your writing in lots and lots of different areas. Hi, and let's have a look at ways that you can find inspiration for your writing. Just before my 50th birthday, I booked myself on something called an Art of Journaling course, and I turned out with very few items. I think I had some dying flowers, a 50th birthday card, a black dress, a story that I had written, an artist notepad, and maybe a couple of other things, and that was all. And I was astounded. Loads and loads of people turned up with all sorts of things. And I sat there blank. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the teacher was wonderful. She got me to take my dress and make it into a book and take different photos. And she told me I wasn't allowed to write anything except for one really, really big word on an enormous sheet of paper. And as the day progressed, I actually took lots of my stuff, inspired by the story that I had bought to put to use for the day, and I went out into the woods and took loads and loads of photos, and I pinned my bits and pieces to various things in the woods, and you know, I had a great time. And when I got home, I just felt that I had to do something with the day, with the things that I had discovered, otherwise I would lose those feelings forever. So I used a product called Blurb from a website called blurb.com, and I uploaded all of my pictures and put the story in and made a small book. And this is the small book that I made. And what's great about this is I always have this as a reminder of the day, and it jogs my memory for things that I might want to write about how I felt about coming to 50. But let me just read you the story that I put in this book, which actually has nothing to do with being 50, but had everything to do with trees and how I felt about certain things in my life. And it's called Grandad's Tree. We visited Grandad's house every summer, always the week just before going back to school. Grandad played drafts with me. He called them checkers and cackled when he won, which he always did. Every year he told me the same story about a man in Palestine and the gun. Right after his victory, it was him or me. I never understood, and defeated I retreated to the gardens behind the house. The garden was full of trees. There was one that reminded me of Parma violets. Dad told me that Grandad's dad had planted the trees, and that one was very special. He chose it for my great-grandmother and had carved their initials in the bark just before proposing to her. Dad said that Grandad had done the same. It was my tree. There was only ever 2 initials, and I wondered why Mum and Dad's weren't there. The discovery of a hidey hole soon made me forget. Every year I left a little treasure that I had found for the fairy amongst the leaves. Some years it was joined by something from someone else. I'm not sure who it was, but I think it was Grandad. There was just something in his eye. One summer I was hiding in the tree, dozing as you do when you're tired from adventures, when I heard them. Divorce. That's all I heard that summer. I wasn't sure what it was, but it looked and sounded serious. I didn't dare move a muscle, but made a pledge to leave a note to the tree fairy to make sure that Mum and Dad were kinder to each other. It must have worked because they stayed together. Over the years their fights became bickers, dampened by the heat of Spain's summers. They moved to Spain for a new life. Dad's new life ravaged his body, and now he slept almost all day. Last autumn I decided to take a last-minute holiday and arrived to find him asleep as usual on the sofa, muttering, "Take me to the tree." Mum just tutted and looked the way that said it all. Glass of wine in one hand and the other on him, Mum and I caught up. 3 weeks later I am back at the tree. Dad is with me. I put him in the hole and I asked the tree fairy to take him safely home. It is only then that I noticed their initials, PD and GM. And there was just something about writing that story that for some bizarre reason fitted in with this very strange book that I made myself, that just means so much to me and means nothing to anyone else. And do you know what? It doesn't matter if this means nothing to anyone else, it means something to you. So your inspiration is make yourself a little book of pictures and stories and see where it takes you. That's great. So you have your writing inspiration to go and try and find, and really good luck with your writing. And my name is Jackie Malpass, jackiemalpass.com and Million Stories Project.